here is Paydirt Pete in the studio with us, Teresa. I don't know if you noticed Paydirt Pete kind of
I kind of noticed it,
he was primping and which he's got to do because, as you know, we feel we have the finest college mascot in the entire country, and I think the entire country is going to find that out soon enough in this CapitalOneFold.com.
I'm working on it.
Mascot challenge. Hey, Duke. Duke is the guy who's kind of keeping track of all the standings for us.
I'll tell you what it is right now.
Yeah, Teresa's right there.
84,235 for Paydirt Pete.
Yeah.
Cincinnati at 79,600.
Yeah,
Paydirt.
Gotta keep her going.
Bearcat, right?
That's a Bearcat.
Yeah.
All right. So we found out, and I didn't know this. Of course, I've seen Paydirt Pete at the games for years and years. Paydirt doesn't speak. Paydirt's not a talker, but we have his translator. This is Aaron Villalobos. Hey, Aaron, how you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
All right, so you're going to speak for Paydirt. Or Paydirt's going to. You are the official spokesman.
Absolutely. He'll do his thing, and I'll go ahead and translate it for you.
All right. Okay. What's he do? Like he does a lot of pantomime. Okay, I see it. Let me tell you. Look, Teresa.
Oh no!
Teresa, isn't Paydirt Pete a handsome?
No, he is very handsome. He's the most handsome mascot on here. I think, if anything, he needs votes for that. Very manly. Yes, very manly.
Pete, can Teresa feel your bicep? Will you let her get a feel there? Because she.
Whoa! Look at that.
Wow, dang.
Look at the gun show working right here.
Show. Very nice.
Does Paydirt Pete work out a lot, Aaron?
He actually works out on a weekly basis. He has a training routine that he does in the gym.
That's how he keeps himself fit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I've noticed, tell me if it's just me, but I think I've noticed that Paydirt this year is a lot more acrobatic or a lot more mobile at games. It seems like Paydirt this year is very, very energetic.
Absolutely. Over the last year, we've worked really hard on establishing the program and working with our student performers and our mascot on being more lively, being more interactive within the games and within the fans. And in doing so, they've done a lot of research and a lot of practice on interacting with the fans and doing a good job of entertaining them.
Yeah, it just seems like he really, really gets up. I'm complimenting you, Paydirt Pete.
Actually, outstanding.
Yeah.
And what?
A handsome mustache too. I got to tell you, I wish I could grow a mustache like that. Yes,
did you get over that baseball shot to the nads there, Pete?
What happened?
That's we're bringing up an embarrassing moment there, Pete.
He's really embarrassed to talk about it, but
what happened?
The video. You haven't seen the video.
He was out in California hanging out with some of his mascot friends and decided to play a pickup game of baseball with some community kids, and one of the kids that just shook the ball off the bat. Yep. Straight off.
Where's Pete's pickaxe? Doesn't Pete carry a pickaxe?
Yeah, normally he does, but if you're deep indoors, you don't want to break anything.
Oh, I see. That was very, very thoughtful of you, Peter. What size hat is that, I wonder? Find a hat like that.
It's a size 40 he's telling me.
40 and a half. 40 and 3/4. Does Paydirt Pete ever go to things other than athletic events at UTEP? Do you see Paydirt Pete around town sometimes?
Absolutely. He's really involved in events throughout the community, not only with different business functions here in El Paso, but he spends a lot of his time during the week at local schools, middle schools, elementary schools, and high schools for college involvement programs. Kind of getting the kids excited not only about school, but the prospect of actually going to college, once they get to that point in their life.
Right now, somebody's thinking, boy, we'd like to have Paydirt Pete come out to our event. Who do they get in touch with? What office to say?
It goes through athletics. It's actually a really simple process. You go online to UTEPathletics.com, and under minor fans, there's a Paydirt Pete page. It's really simple to go to. He's acting it up for us. Athletics.com, go to that Paydirt Pete page, and there's a form on there. Just fill it out. It's a few simple questions, just like when the date of the event is, where it is, how long you want them there. That goes through our office. Within 48 hours, we give you a ring back and let you know, when and where Paydirt Pete will be there.
Does he have like a giant keyboard?
Huge keyboard.
Okay. It's like a giant remote.
I'm assuming that Paydirt
Pete
is also student.
Absolutely. All of our performers are current UTEP students.
It must be difficult for him to take notes in class because he has those big work gloves.
Well, yeah, but imagine sitting behind him. You can't see the board.
Yeah. I hope he sits in the back of the class. I have a hard time seeing her on that big sombrero. What would Pete tell us about this competition? Does Pete realize how behind him the people of El Paso and his fellow students are?
I think he's very appreciative of how big the El Paso community's gotten behind him. I mean, this is a competition that's solely based off of fan participation, and we're going up against, you know, major schools like UCLA and who else is in there? I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Much bigger schools.
Oregon.
BTS caliber schools, and you know, they have fan bases across the nation. When you get a school like El Paso, where it's more of a regional school and it's serving the El Paso community, we really rely on our fans. And the fact that he went 12-0 in the regular season, last week shut down University of Idaho, who had alliances with other schools.
Who are those, the
The Vandals from Idaho. Joe Vandy, the only other mustached character in the competition.
Oh,
That's right, that's right.
The only other mustachioed...
That's true. Well, most of them are like ducks and cats, and they beat the heck out of Bucky Buckeye. I mean, the Ohio State University, one of the largest universities in the country, whipped him.
Yeah,
They
were a little upset after that loss. They actually formed an alliance with Idaho to try and beat us at this week and give us our first loss, and we still beat them.
What does UTEP, or whoever wins, what do they get out of this? Is there like a cash prize?
No, absolutely. For just being selected to the All-American team, our mascot group won a $5,000 grant to support the program.
Wow.
Nice.
If he wins the national championship, if he wins the actual competition, he will get, actually not him, but the mascot program will get an additional $15,000.
15?
Nice. That's a lot of money.
I'm starting to kind of understand the modified American sign. I'm starting to kind of catch the drift of it.
I think that's the international sign for "Make It Rain." That's what the Patriots doing.
I got to tell you, when I take my little girl to the game, thank God for Paydirt Pete. If it wasn't for him and the cheerleaders, she would never once even glance at the She's 3, or just 4. So kids love Paydirt.
Absolutely. And I guess this version of Pete that we've had for about the last 5 years is a lot more kid and family friendly. I mean, we take them places and kids of all ages.
Yeah, he kind of had an ugly mug there for a while. That just
Wait, hold on a second. What are you saying?
Well, I'm saying, you know, like a grimace. He had a grimace, not an ugly mug. I wouldn't say that Paydirt Pete was like ugly, but he had like an ugly expression on his face and like a 5-day growth a little bit. It wasn't that good.
You're talking circa 1995?
I'm talking like up through the 90s, and then I think that he had one other iteration, and now we have the current Paydirt.
Well, he's saying that used to be really scary. He used to scare people.
Yeah. Wasn't the friendliest mug.
Look now, I would say that he has a manly expression of determination on his face, is what it looks like.
Yes.
Look at that
That
strong
firm chin.
Yeah.
chin. those regal cheekbones. That manly mustache. Hey, does Paydirt Pete, I've always wondered, like of all the mascots that UTEP does battle with, or the other teams, is there any one mascot that Peter really has a grudge against, or is a rival?
Yeah. But I want to actually hear his first one. I can imagine who he.
I would think.
He's putting his hands up the air like pistols and firing them like he's firing guns. I'm going to assume that is Pistol Pete.
Yes.
From NMSU. Is that right, Paydirt? That is your main nemesis. You don't like it. What would you do if you ever saw that Pistol Pete in your territory? Yep. You tell him to come to you. You
look me in the eye.
You tell him to get down. And then you
kiss the mustache. You put him up his mustache. That's right. Well, yeah, Pistol. Remember, Pistol's like he's got this big fake droopy mustache. He doesn't have, you know, the finely chiseled cheekbones and actually the mascot head that Paydirt has. He's like a, you know,
so
he just puts on a fake mustache.
Paydirt Pete's nemesis is Pistol Pete. Ironic that they have the same Christian name, isn't it?
Yes.
Just
his nickname. That's right. Paydirt versus Pistol.
Which came first, I wonder? Paydirt Pete or Pistol Pete? Who had the mascot first? Do you have any idea about that, Aaron?
My understanding is a professor in, I believe, 1974 selected the name, had about 500 entries they had on campus. I think he was a engineering professor. Came up with the name Paydirt Pete. And they started using that in the 70s. And the actual costume as we know it now, that didn't come along until the 80s. But around the same time in the 80s is when New Mexico State got their Aggie mascot that they had roaming the sidelines. Yes.
So Pistol Pete, it came almost a full decade after Paydirt
I think so.
I find it a little odd that they would choose a mascot who had a mustache.
Right.
And that they chose to name
The name Pete,
Well,
exactly.
theirs is based off of an actual person, a gunslinger that was around the Southwest at the time, but I mean...
Is Paydirt Pete based on an actual person?
You know, he's
kind of
completely the spirit of UTEP.
I thought the other guy was named after a pizza.
Hey, Pete, maybe I'll take that one. Listen, we're very excited.
Spit in a pizza.
Voting bears that out, so do go through the voting procedure. People want to vote, and everybody should. Paydirt Pete.
Well, you go to CapitalOneBowl.com. You can no longer text your vote in. That's a little bone of contention. You can't text your vote in anymore, but you have a few more hoops to jump through, but it's worth it. You go to CapitalOneBowl.com. It's very simple to vote. There are only 2 people that you could possibly vote for. The other mascot, if you want to vote against one of the other ones, maybe to kind of eliminate some of Pete's competition, a little gamesmanship at play there, you could do that. But do definitely vote for Paydirt Pete there at CapitalOneBowl.com. And you know, kind of have to enter some codes to get through all that, but it's very simple.
This is Aaron Villalobos, who's Pete's translator. Does Paydirt Pete do good in school? Is he a good student?
He does very well. In order to maintain his responsibilities as Paydirt Pete, he's got to keep up with the grades.
He's got to keep a good GPA.
Absolutely.
Just like athletes.
Absolutely.
All right. Does he get tutors and stuff like that?
He has to send resources to athletes too. He can go to the advising center and everything.
Is that right?
I mean, you talk about the benefits of being involved in something like this, and they get to work out, they get access to the trainer and to the tutoring facility.
Wow, sounds like you got a sweet gig over there, Paydirt Pete. Hey, Pete, we love you. We love you. You're a big part of this city.
Yep.
Thank you for coming by today.
Good.
Absolutely.
He's telling me something. He's pointing to his eye. I love you. Oh, he loves us too.
That's nice.
Well, thanks, Paydirt Pete. Best
Thank
of luck.
you.
We're sure you're going to be the champion. There's Paydirt Pete. Thank you, Aaron, for bringing Paydirt Pete by today.
Thank you for having us.
All right, it's 7:22.